today, week 10. So this is a little bit different than last week because last week was a shorter week, so you didn't have as much on your plate. This week is a little bit busier, so I wanted to do a video just to kind of recap all that you're going to be doing this week for me. First, you're going to be reading Understanding the Audience, which is in your textbook, and you're going to be reading Why I Write by Terry Tempest Williams, and there's a link actually in Blackboard. Both of these are really quick reads. It shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes total. So take a look at both of those. This week is really focused on writing purpose. So I want us to start thinking about what our purpose is when we're writing every different thing that we're writing. And keep in mind that you do writing beyond your formal assignments for my class. You write text messages to your friends, you write emails to family, friends, coworkers, you leave notes. There's all kinds of different types of writing that you do. You do a lot of writing maybe for your job. Writing is bigger than just these MLA formatted papers that you're submitting. Writing is bigger than that. Maybe you're participating in instant messaging still, or but these different types of communication, that's all still writing. So I want us to think about this big picture of writing, what we're doing, and why we're writing these messages. And of course, the way that we're choosing to convey those messages, whether it be a text message, an email, a letter, what have you. So we are thinking about this writing purpose idea. And with that, we're going to be doing two things this time around. The first is an assignment that you'll do for me. It's the SEL CPCC assignment. And the handout for that assignment sheet is in Blackboard. Basically, I've broken down these different types of events or groups that you are responsible for working with or speaking to in an effort to sell Central Piedmont. So you're selling Central Piedmont, which is your college, to an audience, a very particular, specific target audience. So that handout is posted. You'll do these individually. You're going to create something visual, something that is either a flyer, a brochure, a presentation, something that I can look at visually, and it's going to contain necessary information. So you're going to have to consider your particular audience that you're working with and try to establish not only what presentation is going to be more meaningful to them, but also what you can do to communicate your message efficiently. So what is going to matter to that particular audience, if you're speaking to prospective students versus if you're speaking to parents versus speaking to nonprofit organizations or businesses in industry. Depending on who you're speaking to, they're going to be looking for very different information, very specific information. So you do have to take into consideration that audience. And you're going to have to do some informal research. These are fictional scenarios, so go wild with it. You don't have to really rely on specific statistics. Although, in a lot of cases, it would be more beneficial to you to be able to do that. So, but go wild with it. Have some time to think it over, because it is due Sunday night. So give yourself some time to think about what specific audience you're going to be working with, what you're going to be communicating. Do some informal research, and then give yourself some time to really put together this visual presentation in some way, whether it be a single page flyer, whether it be a fact sheet, whether it be a brochure, whether it be a presentation. Just make sure that you are communicating your message in a clear way. And if you choose to do PowerPoint, make sure that it will go into Blackboard, that I'll be able to see it. Make sure that if you do, a Prezi is probably your best bet, because it's just a web link. It's much easier. But if you're not familiar with Prezi, then please feel free to use PowerPoint also. One thing that you could do is, if you're not familiar with VoiceThread is a really fantastic online system, and it's free up to 3 presentations. You basically create a PowerPoint, and then you upload it into VoiceThread, which is a website, and then you can record voiceover, so you can actually record yourself speaking over those PowerPoints. So if VoiceThread is something you're interested in, shoot me an email and I'll walk you through the steps to starting a VoiceThread and getting started with the actual uploading of your presentation and voiceover part. It is a good tool if you're not familiar, or if you don't want to use Prezi, if you don't want to use PowerPoint, or if you do use PowerPoint but you want to be able to actually speak like you're giving a presentation, that would work too. So just let me know and we'll figure out what works best for you. So that's the first thing that you're going to be doing assignment-wise. The second thing is that we're going to be looking at these poetry, these spoken word poetry examples. So there is poetry slams, or these national events that happen, and there are these national poetry slam competitions that are very interesting, where people, instead of just writing traditional poetry down on paper in this traditional way, they are instead presenting their poems in this very entertaining way. And their voices and their tones and their gestures, it all kind of goes along with the particular message they're communicating through poetry. So it's really transformed poetry, because it was originally this traditional textbook idea, and now it's transformed into the spoken word. So I've got 2 posted in Blackboard, 2 videos. They're very short and they're both very moving. I think Lily Meyer, I believe. Lily Meyer, I believe, is the first. She's written Shrinking Woman. That's a really fantastic one. It's very moving. And the second one is, I believe, Marshall Jones. He's written, let me double check to make sure before I tell you that. Let's see. I'm sorry, I should have had this already pulled up. Week 10. Lily Myers is Shrinking Woman, and Marshall Davis Jones is the second, and he has this called Touchscreen, and by far Marshall Davis Jones tends to be the favorite when I've shown these in the past. I've shown these for a year now, and every time I show my students, they really connect with Marshall Davis Jones. But Lily Myers is really profound as well, so I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy them both. Again, they're very short YouTube videos. You can watch them in our Blackboard course. And then after you've watched them, I want you to think about the purpose, why Lily Myers and Marshall Davis Jones have decided to communicate this particular message in this way. Why have they decided to speak this poem out loud, to share it in this very profound way, and what that does for their message, whether or not it is how it's interpreted to you as the audience, and then what is lost versus what is gained in this transformation of poetry. So just take a look at these and think about what you think is happening in them, and then your discussion board is posted in Blackboard, so you'll actually respond to these in the discussion forum, and you won't communicate with each other. You won't have you won't respond to each other. There won't be any communication between you guys in the forum, because what I really want you to do is I really want you to put your efforts into thinking about this discussion forum and putting a really thought-provoking discussion in place, and of course doing your CPCC assignment for me. And then next week we'll take a look back to these assignments and or this discussion forum, and we'll talk a little bit about what's going on and what you as a class member saw, and what your classmates saw, and what how we connect to each other when shared ideas versus where we differ, and what we can learn from each other. So just to recap, both the readings, one in the textbook, one posted, the link posted in Blackboard. You'll do the CPCC assignment sheet's already posted. Questions should come to me via email. That's due Sunday night by midnight. And then you'll be watching these 2 poetry slam videos that are really quick in YouTube, or in Blackboard from YouTube, and then writing a discussion forum. So if you have questions, concerns, let me know, and enjoy week 10.